piece of your land somewhere in Europe or America and Canada or Alaska to them to set up their own state. Ahmadinejad further said that some had created a myth upon the fact of the Holocaust, and they hold it even higher than the very belief in prophets or religion. Question: in that quote, did you hear any denial of the Holocaust anywhere? Not only does Ahmadinejad not deny the Holocaust, he first asserts that it happened, and then questions why the Holocaust has been built into a myth that is used to justify the oppression of the Palestinians. Question: why would someone who denies the Holocaust start out by admitting that it happened? Here's the quote again if you missed it, the part of his quote that is crucial. He says, and I quote, "If the Europeans are telling the truth in their claim that they have killed 6 million Jews in the Holocaust during the World War Right, which seems that they are right in their claim." Obviously, when you translate from an Eastern language into a Western language like English, there are grammatical inconsistencies in the actual translation, but this is a word-to-word translation. So again, if the Europeans are telling the truth in their claim that they have killed 6 million Jews in the Holocaust during the World War II, which seems they are right in their claim, end quote. Ahmadinejad asked the following question during his speech at Columbia: why should the Palestinian people suffer because Europeans killed a lot of Jews? Question: why does the pro-Israeli lobby instantly demonize someone the minute she asks a valid question? Question: did Ahmadinejad ask for Israel to be wiped off the map? Fact: here's the actual quote regarding the so-called wiping Israel off the map quote by Ahmadinejad, which is never shown to the American public. He said, and I quote, "I have no doubt that a new movement taking place in our dear Palestine is a spiritual movement which is spanning the entire Islamic world and which will soon remove the stain of disgrace from the Islamic world." Question: Ahmadinejad said that a spiritual movement would remove Israel. He did not issue a military threat. He did not mention anything being wiped off the map. He said that a spiritual movement would remove Israel. Question: where is the word map in that quote? Question: where did the word map come from in that quote? Answer: the first documented news agency, Western news agency, to use the word map was the New York Times. Yes, my dear fellow Americans, the same New York Times that constantly quoted unnamed government officials in the build-up to the invasion of Iraq. The same New York Times that colluded with the Bush administration to orchestrate the justification of an invasion that has cost over 1.2 million Iraqi lives and close to 4,000 US lives. America, wake up before the pro-Israeli lobby leads us into yet another war. Ahmadinejad was asked about Israel at Columbia. His answer, quote, "There should be a referendum in Palestine, and Jews, Christians, and Muslims should live side by side in peace." He has said this many times in the past as well. Question: why is this not reported by the American press? Why are only snippets of Ahmadinejad's speech being doled out to the American people? Are the American people not capable of making up their own minds? Are they not intelligent enough? Question: does Iran support terrorism? Fact: Iran was among the first nations in the world to condemn the September 11th atrocity, and the Iranian people held candlelight vigils in support of the American nation. Fact: Iran has never attacked the U.S. The U.S. has made unsubstantiated claims about Iran that have never been proven. Fact: Al-Qaeda considers Iranians to be infidels and is just as much, if not more, hateful of Iranian Shia Muslims than they are of Americans. Question: why does the pro-Israeli lobby charge Iran with terrorism? Pro-Israeli groups say that Iran supports Hezbollah of Lebanon and Hamas. Fact: no one has ever proven that Iran gives material support to either group. Its official position is that it supports both groups in principle. Fact: Hezbollah was created in reaction to Israel's invasion of Lebanon in 1982, in which thousands of Lebanese civilians died. Fact, Hamas came into being during the 1980s after the Palestinian people had endured Zionist repression for over 20 years without throwing a single stone. Background to this fact. This is well recorded in both Jewish and Muslim history. One summer day, an Israeli army officer ran his jeep over a Palestinian in the West Bank or Gaza. The Palestinians had tolerated over 20 years of repression during which their land was taken away, their water resources were denied, and over 700,000 of them were forced at gunpoint to flee their land. Fact. The killing of the Palestinian by the Israeli army officer was the straw that broke the camel's back. Palestine exploded in anger as people took up stones in their hands, and in an impromptu and natural expression of hatred and anger and frustration, started throwing these stones at the Israeli repressors. Fact. It was only after, I repeat, this is a historical fact, check it out for yourselves. It was only after Israelis shot unarmed Palestinians throwing stones. Remember, there were no weapons in the West Bank or Gaza at this time. It was only after the Israelis started shooting these unarmed Palestinians who were throwing stones, and when they started to break the hands upon the orders of the Nobel Peace Prize winning Shimon Peres, who ordered the military to quote, break the hands of any children or youth caught throwing stones. It was only after circumstances such as these that Hamas came into existence. It was an indigenous movement created in Palestine by the Palestinian people in response to 20 years of repression when silence and patience and nonviolence had not had any effect on the Israelis. Don't fall for the lie that Israel is only defending itself and the Palestinians are a violent, barbaric people. This could not be further from the truth. Fact. Neither Hamas nor Hezbollah have ever attacked anyone outside of Lebanon or Palestine. Question. So why should Americans die because Israelis are oppressing others who are fighting back? Why should Americans die for Israel? Hamas and Hezbollah have never attacked America and continuously emphasize in their speeches and in their publications that their struggle is limited to fighting Israeli oppression. America, wake up. Wake up, America, before Israel drags you into another war. Fact. Israel is more of a threat to the national security of America than Al-Qaeda could ever dream of being. Fact. Both the Iranian president and the Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, condemned the perpetrators of the crimes of September 11th and demanded that they be brought to justice. It should be noted that the Iranian officials and the Iranian public were amongst the first in the world to express sympathy and revulsion at what had happened on September 11th. Courage. President Ahmadinejad had the courage to come to what he knew would be a hostile environment and present the views of the Iranian nation, and he held out his hand in peace to the American people. Mr. Bollinger, by caving into pro-Israeli pressure and insulting and ridiculing the elected representative of a nation of 70 million people, you have played into the hands of those fanatical Muslims, Christians, and Jews who dream of a world war between the world of Islam and the West. Mr. Bollinger, you have made Osama bin Laden very happy. America, wake up. Stop the pro-Israeli lobby now. America, wake up and stop the pro-Israeli lobby before it drags us into another war with a country that has nothing to do with any kind of attack on us. America, wake up and act now. May God have mercy on us all. Thank you.